welcome again to the Coach Chris Boden Show. Brandon Odoi, footballhotbed.com. Here with ASA Miami coach, Chris Boden. Coach, a tough loss this past weekend. Georgia Military, they come in highly touted, number 13 in the country. It kind of got started a little shaky and then just kind of spiraled from there. Take us through it.
Yeah, the second play of the game, we threw a swing pass to our running back. It was deemed a backwards pass. The officials called it a backwards pass. They scooped and scored. So 2 plays into the game, it was 7-0. Our defense hadn't touched the field yet. The rest of the first quarter was close. We ended up driving down, converting a 4th and long. And then Stevenson Fernandez, who was finishing off his run, fumbled the ball on their 9-yard line. And right there, we're getting 7 minimum 3 points, and that was kind of the story of the game, was the big plays. If we don't have those 2 turnovers in the first quarter, I think it's a different score at halftime, and I think the game takes on a different shape in the second half.
Yeah, 14-0, Georgia Military at the end of the first quarter. You talked about, Fernandez's big turnover. It's the story of big plays in this game, but it's also the story of one missed block, one missed tackle. That's something that was an emphasis, and you and I talked. When you go into a game like this with Georgia Military, it's a team you really can't afford to make mistakes with.
Right, yeah, no, we talked all week. We had to create turnovers defensively. We did create one. Special teams-wise, I thought we did a great job. I think we held our own in special teams, and then offensively, we preached all week, can't turn the ball over. We turned it over twice in the first quarter. But yeah, our guys played I thought our guys played well. I thought our guys held their own against a really, really good team. The offensive line, I thought, did a tremendous job. Des Wyatt and Josh Peoples and those other guys up there did a really fantastic job. Our D-line did a fantastic job. Mathews played amazing. But really, the story of the game was the big plays. We were a block away, it seemed like, on every run, on every screen pass. They converted on their big plays offensively, and we just missed on ours. But defensively, I thought we did a good job. And offensively, like I said, we held our own. I thought Bashan did a great job of making quick decisions. And I thought, like I said, the run game, we were 1 block away every single time.
Absolutely. Rashawn Waiter still hasn't thrown a pick all year long. But let's get into Mathews. This is a young man, number 5. The linebacker, the guy who really opened some eyes this game. What better competition to really, prove your mettle against, a ranked opponent like that? Why is he so special?
He does a great job. He's just, he's an intelligent player. He's a physical player. He leads the defense. He's our middle linebacker. He was just all over the field. He was making plays left and right. And, I think he's a 1A kid, and I think we'll see that after the semester's done. But, he's a leader on defense. He's one of our captains. And, like I said, he played a great game against great competition.
Absolutely, and that's what you want to do. And surely some schools will definitely come calling for Mr. Mathews as things move ahead. Let's look ahead to this week. South Florida, the storm is brewing. Hurricane Mathews out there. We don't really know what's going to go on with that, particularly in relationship to the game with Gattaca. You're supposed to travel up there, but not really sure. They may come here. The game may be rescheduled. Just set the tone for that and help us to know what's the latest.
Yeah, our field's been shut down because of the possible hurricane that's going to hit. We're trying to reschedule the game for next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, possibly going up there, possibly maybe them coming down here. We're still working on the details with that, but there definitely won't be a varsity game this weekend, and there definitely won't be a JV game because we had a JV game scheduled on Saturday as well.
Again, very difficult loss, but you take some positive things away from that game. You get a chance to play them again. That's a wonderful thing, something you don't always see. Well, but Coach, I'm curious. You've got, really breakout performances by Eric Metellus. I think he had a school record, 10 receptions in the game. And then you have, the other Eric Hartnett. These are 2 guys that, along with Waiters, are really positive players. Let's talk a little bit about guys who are sort of developing under the radar. Maybe the lights are turning on late. Give us some guys on offense and defense who, potentially are going to be guys we hear about later on this season.
All right. I think defensively, Brock Smith is one of our defensive ends. He's done a very good job. He's a hard worker. He's a good kid. He's kind of turned it on as of lately. He's done a really good job for us. Offensively, there's really the entire offensive line. Eric Metellus, obviously, he came in, didn't really know a whole lot about him. He came in, he competed from day one. He's a quiet kid, great route runner, extremely fast, good hands, picked up the offense extremely quickly. He's been a real pleasant surprise, and he's been a guy that, we've made sure we got to get the ball to during games. Eric Hartnett, obviously, with him taking a year off of football, coming in, he's done a tremendous job for us as well. But, those guys, there's been a lot of guys, and I don't want to leave any guys out, but there's been a lot of guys that have really stepped up, in games, and we feel, even from Danny Zambrano, or, the kicker that backs up Sean Young, he had to play the first couple weeks, and he was tremendous. We have a lot of really good quality kids on our team. You go to practice, it's fun, they're there to work, no issues off the field with most of them, and, they're fun kids to be around. We're around these kids all day long, so you want to recruit good character kids that, you enjoy working with, because you got to spend so much time with them.
Absolutely. Coach Chris Boden, we'll see you next week. For now, for Coach Chris Boden, I'm Brandon Odoi, Football Hotbed. We're getting ready for Gattaca coming up this weekend. We'll see you next week here on The Chris Boden Show.